welcome to highlights of the US Grand Prix brought to you by Microprose and GP2Joey. This year's curtain raiser sees the return of the 2.4-mile Watkins Glen circuit in upstate New York for the first time since 1980. The passionate American fans are excited to see Formula One cars around here once more as we mark the start of a 16-round calendar that runs through to November, where Australia will play host to the final race of what promises to be a dramatic and exciting 1991 season, headed by defending champs Ayrton Senna and Ferrari, who lead a massive field of 19 teams and 38 drivers all set to do battle across the world this year. In the lead up to the race, McLaren were confident of their chances to challenge for both the Drivers' and Constructors' Championships, with team boss Ron Dennis and star driver Alain Prost confident their strong winter testing form wasn't a fluke, whilst Nigel Mansell fancied his own chances for the title at Williams. And new teammate Jean Alesi was sure he would at least win some races, and a nervous Senna was unsure about Ferrari's reliability for the first round. Friday morning's 30-minute pre-qualifying session was nothing short of sensational, with 18 drivers and 9 teams all competing for only 6 spots and a place in qualifying for the race proper. One of those to make it through was rookie Damon Hill, son of the late double world champion Graham, as the Brabham team progressed, but sadly the 31-year-old was then taken with a mysterious illness and would not compete for the rest of the weekend, as Fod Matal and BMS Dallara were the other teams through, whilst the rest were forced to go home early. Friday's qualifying session was held in beautiful sunshine, and it was Senna who dominated in the glorious Ferrari 642, whilst new teammate and American former IndyCar star Michael Andretti made an impressive debut alongside the Brazilian, as the Scuderia continued to go even faster on Saturday, which was stopped after an appalling accident to new McLaren driver Joey Davis, who crashed heavily on the exit of Turn 5 at over 170 miles an hour. Thankfully, he was unhurt, but would only line up 14th on the grid, whilst Ferrari locked out the front row, with Alesi impressing in third on his Williams debut, whilst Olivier Grilliard failed to qualify. Naturally, Senna was delighted to get his first pole of the year, but was cautious about his chances for the win, whilst teammate Andretti revelled in the attention his performance was getting on home soil. McLaren were relieved Davis was unhurt after his colossal impact with the barriers, and the Briton was certainly keen to race, which was ultimately confirmed once the F1 doctor Sid Watkins had looked him over on race day morning. So it's an all-Ferrari front row with Jean Alesi and Alain Prost on row 2. Then it's Mansell and Martin Brundle. Row 4 is Johnny Herbert and Derek Warwick. Row 5 is Nelson Piquet and Riccardo Patrese, with Gerhard Berger and Nakajima behind them. Row 7 is Stefano Modena and Joey Davis. Row 8 is Ivan Capelli and Mika Hakkinen. Row 9 is Thierry Boutsen and Eric Comas. Row 10 is Martin Donnelly and Aguri Suzuki. Row 11 is Eric Bernard and Maurizio Gugelmin. Row 12 is Emanuele Pirro and Mark Blundell. And at the back it's Oscar Larari and JJ Leto. The red lights come on and the revs are rising as we get ready for the start of the 1991 Formula One season, and it's go! And Senna's away well from pole position, but so is Michael Andretti in the second Ferrari, with Alesi third. As we run down the hill towards the first turn, Senna takes the wide line, and look at this, that's Michael Andretti looking to go through on the inside. Is the American going to go through? He's through! Michael Andretti leads the American Grand Prix in his first race for Ferrari. As they head up the S's now, it's a fantastic start for the American, with Senna in second place. He's gaining on his teammate, looking to get through. He can't get through there. It's Alesi in third, with Brundle fourth. Prost is fifth, Mansell is sixth, and Herbert is seventh. Senna's on the inside, he's going to try and go through, and he can't. And Andretti just turns across the front of his Brazilian teammate, and out of the chicane, it's Andretti ahead of Senna. Alesi's still in third, but he's got Martin Brundle right on his gearbox. Prost in fifth, and Mansell is sixth place. Senna, is he going to try and have a look through at the left-hander? He can't get through. Andretti was so late on the brakes there. But I don't think that Senna's going to try and get past his teammate just yet. But he's right on his gearbox, and I think Berger is going to try. Senna's going to try and go through on the inside, and he can't again. Andretti just cuts him straight across. Fantastic start from Michael Andretti, the IndyCar star who's making his debut in Formula One. And what a debut race this is. What a start for the American.
Fantastic start from Michael Andretti, as Jean Alesi looks like he's coming under attack from Martin Brundle's footwork. Martin Brundle sips it up the inside of Jean Alesi. Fantastic pass with Brundle up into third place and Alesi's in fourth, looking like he's coming under pressure from Alain Prost. Nigel Mansell's still stuck in sixth place with Herbert in seventh, Warwick is eighth, and Joey Davis up to ninth place. An impressive start.
But back up front, it's Andretti as they're coming up to the final turn. Andretti's still got a lead over Ayrton Senna. They're going to be coming out of the final turn, and then they're going to be crossing the line for the very first time. But what a moment this is for America, as an American leads the opening race of the US Grand Prix. But back, it's Senna. He's going to try and go for the inside now. Andretti, I think, is probably just going to let his teammate have it. And Senna goes through. He's into the lead, and Andretti just gives up the place. Senna's the number one. He's the defending world champion. But in the background, you saw Alain Prost. Prost snuck underneath Jean Alesi as Brundle looks to have a pass on Andretti into the S's. But he can't make it stick, and that's given Andretti the opportunity to just pull a little bit ahead of the footwork. Mansell's still in sixth place, and he's coming under attack from Johnny Herbert. And look at Alesi. Alesi really seems to be struggling. Mansell's all over the back of his teammate, and Mansell looks like he's going to try and go for the inside into the bus stop. Is he through? He is, and Herbert wants to get a bit of the action, but the footwork has to come out of it, and that means that Jean Alesi has gone from third to fourth to fifth to sixth in just 1.5 laps. And Herbert's going to try and get past him as well now. But Derek Warwick is lurking as well. Herbert trying to get past Jean Alesi with Senna still out in front. He's half a second to the good. Alesi has got Herbert all over the back of him once more. And Herbert tries to go through. Alesi turns in on him. And Alesi's out and he's off. He's out. And Herbert spun in the middle of the track. Fantastic development. And that's a Tyrrell spun. I think that's Nakajima, as both the Joas Porsches go through, and one of the Ligiers goes through, and one of the Leighton Houses. But he's stopped on the middle of the track. Let's have a look at the start from Joey Davis's McLaren. His first start for the team. He almost goes into the back of Nakajima, just taps the rear end of one of the Porsches. That's Patrese. Davis looking to go on through on the outside. Patrese is going to have the inside line covered, and Davis starting 14th on the grid, and he almost goes into the back of Derek Warwick. Just about avoids it, and look at that, out of the first turn, and he's up into 10th place. But look at this, his teammate Alain Prost, he's passed Martin Brundle for third. Fantastic stuff from the four-time world champion, and that's a Joas slowing as Eric Bernard is out of the race. That's Gerhard Berger, who left Ferrari at the end of last year, losing his seat to Andretti as Martin Donnelly's out, and Berger's out in his first race for the Joas team. And this is Davis. This is Davis with Patrese right behind him. And Davis, look at that. Talk about cutting him up right across the front. And that's Piquet spun in the Benetton. Nelson Piquet, whose seat Joey Davis inherited at McLaren, he spun the Benetton. And Martin Brundle is going to make a move on Alain Prost. He's going to be going through into second place. And Andretti's dropped from second down to sixth place. He must have had a spin or gone off somewhere, because Michael Andretti has lost a hell of a lot of time, and Davis and Patrese are still embroiled in their battle as Davis goes past into the bus stop. He's ahead. They're going through there at over 170 miles an hour with Michael Andretti. He's down in sixth place. I wonder what on earth happened to him.
Andretti's going to be trying to get past Derek Warwick as quickly as he can now. He's obviously in recovery mode. Hopefully we're going to see what happened to the American. But inexplicably he's dropped from second place down into fifth now, as Joey Davis wants to be trying to close up on Derek Warwick, and there's his teammate Alain Prost, who's pushing like crazy. He's 3.5 seconds behind Ayrton Senna, the race leader, with Martin Brundle in third, and that's Derek Warwick pulling over.
What a major development of Derek Warwick in his first race for the Benetton 14. He's got smoke pouring out of the back, and he is out of the race. As Joey Davis on lap 16, he's still got Patrese right behind him. What a battle these two are having, who are racing with each other at Williams. And Davis is now in the McLaren. He's going to let Patrese have the inside line. I think that Patrese just got a better run on him out of the final turn. Davis isn't going to give up the position though. They are side by side through the first turn, and I think that Davis is probably going to power ahead because he's got more horses in the back of that McLaren in that Honda engine. Side by side through the first part of the S's, and he's through. Fantastic stuff.
Patrese just really had to give that place back to Joey Davis. There was absolutely no chance he was going to be able to get through there, as Michael Andretti comes into the pits for his first stop of the afternoon in the Ferrari.
Andretti's into the pits, and his teammate Senna's coming up to lap one of the back markers. That's one of the LaRousses. Andretti's still in the pit lane with Davis in second place. Herbert, he's recovering well, he's in seventh place, but Prost is in second, and he's closed the gap now to 2.7 seconds. That's Piquet. He's now, and Johnny Herbert's out of the race. As soon as I mention his name, he's out of the race. Piquet is chasing Mika Hakkinen, and Patrese is out of the race. My goodness, they are dropping like flies. Hakkinen's into the pits, and so too we're hearing is Ayrton Senna as Andretti in ninth place, and here's Ayrton Senna onto the blocks in the Ferrari garage. A wipe of the visor from the chief mechanic. All four wheels off, new ones on, and Alain Prost is into the pits as well, we understand. Prost is already in the pits, and Senna's coming past his nemesis, and that's going to put Nigel Mansell in the lead in the Williams. What a fantastic, there he is, what a fantastic development for him and the Williams team. He really wants to start this season off with a bang, and he's in prime position to be able to do that. He's in first place, but of course Mansell hasn't stopped yet. And what we understand is either going to be a one or two stop strategy for most people. And there's Michael Andretti still recovering. He's in seventh place now as he passes the Leighton house of Ivan Capelli. And his next target is going to be Davis in the McLaren. And here he is. He's trying to go through on the inside of Stefano Modena, and he's through. What an audacious pass from the Englishman. Fantastic stuff. Martin Brundle's in fourth. It's Alain Prost in third. Senna in second. He's 5.6 seconds behind your race leader, Nigel Mansell in the Williams Renault. Fantastic action here today. And Prost in third, yet to pick. But he's going to be trying to cover as much ground as he possibly can on Ayrton Senna. And that's Davis spun. He's dropped to sixth place. I'm not sure what happened to Joey Davis, but he's got spun. He was embroiled in a battle with Stefano Modena, and you have to wonder if maybe the two of them had a bit of contact. But that means that Davis is down into seventh. Don't forget he started 14th today with Comas in eighth. Piquet recovering to ninth. And here's the replay.
Modena just trying to go through on the inside. Davis just turns in on the Brazilian and the Italian, and Davis is off. Obviously, you have to wonder if he's actually got a little bit of damage to the rear end.
And Mansell's into the pits for his first stop of the race. It's surely going to be his only stop, but that means that Senna now takes over the lead. It's Prost in second, Mansell is in third, and surely he's going to lose time to Martin Brundle and Stefano Modena as well, perhaps. Good stop by the Williams team of 9.9 seconds as Ayrton Senna comes through the S's onto the back straight, heading towards the bus stop, and he's got a 4.4 second lead over Alain Prost. And Andretti's still in sixth place, and Davis, he's dropping even further back, and he's into the pits. Onto the marks. A little wipe of the visor from the chief mechanic at McLaren. All the four wheels are off. They're putting the new set of wheels back on. It's 9 seconds. It's going to be a slow stop for the Englishman. It's 11 seconds. That's a terrible stop for McLaren. A lot slower than it was for Alain Prost, we're hearing, who only had a stop of 7.5 seconds. So they obviously must have had some sort of a problem. And there's Piquet. Piquet getting lapped by Ayrton Senna. So Senna, he's 4.7 seconds in the lead, and it's a fantastic race so far for the Brazilian. With Prost in second, it's Martin Brundle in third. But don't forget, Senna's been very nervous about the reliability of the Ferrari 642 this weekend. He's hoping that they're going to have enough reliability to see him through to the finish so that he can win his first race of 1991. But it's Brundle in third place, and he's going to be desperately... And that's Senna! Senna! He's lost it at the back end at the final turn, and Senna spun, hits the barrier. He's lost a hell of a lot of time. That's going to give Prost the chance. What a development. Prost has closed the gap right up from 5.8 seconds to 1.1. Fantastic stuff. But as Senna damaged his car, he really looked like he hit the barriers hard there. Brundle's still going round at an alarming rate. He's 16.4 seconds behind. But Mansell in fourth place, and here's Prost as Senna comes into the pits. He's making his second stop, but Prost is choosing to stay out. Is Senna going to get any kind of damage checked over? As the Brazilian comes into his marks, Prost is out, way out in front now, and the Frenchman's really going to be trying to put the power down to build up as much of a gap as he possibly can. Brundle's up into second place, Mansell still fourth with Andretti in fifth, Piquet sixth, Modena seventh, Joey Davis, Prost's teammate, is in eighth place, with Capelli ninth and Thierry Boutsen in the Ligier in 10th place.
Fantastic action as Senna, we understand he's leaving the pits now, but Senna's got a hell of a job to try and close the gap down on Alain Prost, who's absolutely flying through the first sector and the second sector. Prost has got a tremendous gap now. He's really trying to build up. It's going to be interesting to see when the Frenchman stops. Is he going to be able to get out ahead of Ayrton Senna? But let's not forget that Senna's got fresh tyres and he's really going to be pushing as much as he possibly can.
Well, Andretti's 59 seconds behind Prost. And here's Senna out of the pits and he's up behind one of the Leighton houses. That's Capelli in the Leighton house. And Senna, he cannot get past him. And Senna's losing a bucket load of time. He can't even get past him into turn 5. This could really affect Senna's chances of getting the lead back from Alain Prost, who is yet to stop. Capelli takes the inside line, but he finally moves out of the way and lets Senna through and just chomps across the front of the Italian very angrily. From the Brazilian, that's tremendously bad driving from Ivan Capelli. And that's Nigel Mansell right behind him with Prost. Coming through the penultimate turn, is the Frenchman going to be coming into the pits this time? He surely will, he's going to have to, otherwise he may well end up losing even more time. But he's across the line yet again. That's 41 laps in the books. And Senna, he's still in 3rd place. Mansell in 4th. Michael Andretti in 5th place. He's going to be wanting to try and close up to Nigel Mansell and Ayrton Senna as much as he possibly can, because Andretti will be desperate to get on the podium at his home Grand Prix. And Brundle comes into the pits as Senna rounds the final turn. Capelli still behind him, and Senna is going to be moving up into 2nd place. And is he going to be able to close up to Alain Prost? It's going to be interesting to see now if Prost can come out when he does pit, to see if Senna's going to be able to retake the lead. But Nigel Mansell in 4th place is still holding his own, and he's now up into 3rd place. And there's Michael Andretti in 5th in the 2nd Ferrari, going through the bus stop into turn 5. It's been a tremendous drive from the American, who's obviously made a mistake somewhere. And Senna, he's closing up on Joey Davis. Well, this is going to be interesting, because is Davis going to actually try and hold up the Brazilian and let Alain Prost close up? Because Prost has made his pit stop, he's come out behind Senna, and Senna's getting balked by Davis. Is this a bit of clever teamwork from the Englishman? I think it is. He's going to hold up the Brazilian, he goes to the inside. Senna is forced to get out of the gas, and he's got to go the long way round. And Prost has visibly closed the gap from 3.4 seconds. He's surely got to be less than 2 seconds behind the Brazilian. Davis is out of the final turn, and is he going to just let Prost through? He pulls over to the side. There's absolutely no obstruction from Davis. Prost gives him a little wave out of the side of the cockpit to say thank you, and the gap is only 1.4 seconds. Davis has done a tremendous favour to him, and that's Martin Brundle out. Oh, what terrible fortune for the Englishman. As the footwork is out, and Martin Brundle, he's out. And that's Senna. Senna's out of the bus stop. He's retired from the Grand Prix from the lead, and that means that Alain Prost is in the lead now, ahead of Nigel Mansell. And that's going to move Michael Andretti up into the podium. Andretti is going to be in 3rd place, and the crowd are absolutely cheering to the rafters as Senna, Capelli and Davis are embroiled in a battle royal. Look at this, Piquet slips it up the inside of Capelli. But is he going to be able to get past Joey Davis, who I still think is struggling from his earlier damage when he collided with Stefano Modena? Piquet, he's weaving about all over the back of the McLaren. He's going to try and go for it into the first turn. But does he get through? We didn't see it. Capelli comes into the pits. But there's Michael Andretti, and the crowd are going crazy. And Davis goes to the inside of Piquet. So Piquet had obviously got through, but Davis goes back in front. Fantastic racing. These two are embattled in a royal battle. Fantastic racing. Michael Andretti's into the pits for the 2nd time with Alain Prost, 7.1 seconds to the good, ahead of Nigel Mansell. And Stefano Modena in the all-new Tyrrell Honda. He's in 4th place. Piquet and Davis are still battling. Look at this. Davis to the inside. Piquet tries to go around the outside of his former McLaren team, and he can't get through, and Davis just cuts him off. And Nigel Mansell, he's going through the final. That's the penultimate turn it is, and he's got only a few more corners to go before he's across the line again in 2nd place. And is Mansell going to have to stop again? We're not sure, but he's lapping very well, and he too will just be hoping that there is significant reliability for the Williams team. As Michael Andretti continues to impress, and the crowds are going crazy. Andretti is in 3rd place in his first race for the team, in his first race in Formula 1. He's a bit slow out of that turn there, but I'm pretty sure he's okay. with Piquet and Davis still going. Their battle is still going on, with Ivan Capelli just dropping a little bit further back. But what a start for Michael Andretti. Ayrton Senna is out in the Ferrari, and he's desperately going to be wanting to get on the podium as Davis goes defensive yet again from Piquet, who bails out of it as they come down to the right-hander. Davis is still ahead of the Brazilian. Michael Andretti is out of the penultimate turn, heading into the final corner now, and Andretti's slowing. Michael Andretti's slowing in the Ferrari. Oh my goodness, what's happened to the American? He's got no drive. Andretti's slowing. With only 6 laps to go, Andretti crosses the line, but his car, it's falling apart on him, and he's out. He pulls over to the side of the racetrack, and Andretti is out. And incredibly, that's Piquet and Davis, and they've come together. They collided at the right-hand hairpin, and they're both going again. What a battle this is, with Stefano Modena now into 3rd place in the Tyrrell. Mansell is 2nd, and Alain Prost is 15.2 seconds to the good. And here's the replay with Davis and Piquet. Piquet launched it up the inside. Davis just about gives him enough room around the left-hander, but Piquet just violently cuts across the McLaren, and I'm pretty sure you're going to see Davis go for the inside. A late second lunge, and he goes for it. Piquet tries to move across. Davis, I think he just was going a little bit too fast, and he's hit Piquet. It looks as though they're both relatively undamaged, but they are both off the track, and look at this! Davis is going defensive. Piquet's on the inside. Is the Brazilian going to try and go for it now with only 3 laps to go? He can't get through. Davis goes defensive into the bus stop. And Davis in 4th place. He will not want to give up that position to the Brazilian. Capelli in 6th place with Thierry Boutsen right behind him. Prost is into the final turn, and he's going to be coming out of the final turn now. Alain Prost in the McLaren. It's a return to winning ways for the Frenchman. Alain Prost is across the line and wins the US Grand Prix. Fantastic race for the Frenchman. Boutsen is in 7th place at the moment. Nigel Mansell 2nd. It's Stefano Modena in 3rd. But we want to see the battle between Davis and Piquet. Here they come into the final turn. Is Piquet going to make a last-second lunge at the Englishman into the final turn? He looks for it, but Davis has got it covered. Fantastic bit of racing from the Englishman. After his appalling crash yesterday, he's across the line to finish 4th. What a Grand Prix! Incredibly, it's been a year since Prost last won a race, so for the Frenchman this victory put many of his demons to bed in a race of attrition that saw Mansell a fine 2nd, Modena a surprising 3rd, and Davis putting in a sterling drive after his intense battle with Piquet. On the top step of the podium, Prost joyously sprayed the champagne with Mansell, who was just delighted with a strong start to his campaign, whilst Modena simply shed tears of joy after a superb drive in the Tyrrell. Meantime, frustration abounded at Ferrari after the double DNF for Senna and Andretti, who could only look back at the loss of a probable race win for the team and plenty of points. With there now being 10 points for a race win instead of 9, Prost now leads Mansell in the table by 4 points, with Modena in 3rd, Davis in 4th ahead of Piquet and Boutsen 6th, who took a final point for Ligier. McLaren have a 7-point lead over Williams in the constructors' standings, with Tyrrell in 3rd, as the circus readies itself for a trip to South America and the Brazilian Grand Prix in Sao Paulo. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time for round 2 of the 1991 Formula 1 season from Interlagos.